Okay, I am filming. So, hello everyone. Now, I'll tell you something very quickly. I was collecting something at the post office for a friend of mine. She's like full Asian. And I go into the post office because she's busy with her 2 kids. And I said, let me go in. I'll go and get it for you. Go into the post office. I've got the documents to say that this arrived at the door. I come in there. Asian, traditional Asians at the, behind the other side of the post office. They just look at me. What do you want? No, you can't collect. You must have some ID. Not for you. I said, look, I have the documents. I've got my ID. He was still reluctant to even talk to me because it was like every word was an effort for him. So I have to go and get my friend, bring her in. They see this Asian girl, like someone that looks like them. The second she comes in, oh, hello, darling, how are you? Been long time no seen you. Oh, hello. Speaking the Queen's English. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow. About 5 minutes ago, it was an effort for you to even open your mouth to talk to me. Man, it's hilarious the way things work in society these days. But let's talk about something that we want to know. And that's WWE, and that's the Dave Batista return. And I'll tell you what, there have been some very interesting opinions leading into this Batista return. And now we've had the Monday Night Raw episode that happened yesterday in America, and really for me this morning, and I've seen a lot of interesting opinions. I know that, is it Mitch from Wrestling Gurus, sorry I can't say it right, did a video and he pretty much said he'd snap and flip out if Batista won, and I've been on wrestlingforums.com and a lot of people are just not happy. It seems I'll say this, it seems like it's very, very divided. People were very excited for Batista to come in and return. Now he has returned. Some people are still excited, but there are a lot of people who are not happy about that. So let me address a few things. First of all, it was good to see him come back. I was happy to see him come back. I do like Dave Batista. I was so happy he got the role for Drax the Destroyer in Guardians of the Galaxy. I was very thrilled that they gave him that role. I think that could lead to bigger things for him in his film career. Not saying he'd be the next Rock, but I was happy that he got that role. Happy to see him come back. And when they started bringing out the rumours that he was going to face Randy Orton, all of that excitement went from here and it started to diminish because it's Randy Orton. And look, people think I hate Randy and I don't. He's actually a very good performer. It's just that right now Randy Orton just doesn't interest me right now, and it's like the belt is on him and it's like, oh God, not you again. But that's how I feel. And a Batista-Randy Orton feud is something that we've seen so many times. And on WrestleMania, where you really need, in my opinion, either a match that fans are clamouring for, like dying to see, or a fresh new matchup that has never happened that adds to the feel of the show. And instead of that, we're getting a feud that started in 2004, 2005, again. And I'm not that jazzed. And to be honest, I don't think they have had that great chemistry in the ring, to tell you the truth. So I'm not that pumped up about it. And he came out, did his promo. He got a good pop. People responded. They chanted. It wasn't overwhelming like when The Rock came back. It wasn't overwhelming like when other wrestlers have come back, in comparison. It was a good pop. Fans reacted. He came out. I'm going to win. I want the title. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to the Royal Rumble. I'm winning the Royal Rumble. Then I'm coming for the title. That was pretty much it. And Randy Orton being the guy that they want to see, Randy Orton being the guy it's rumoured that he's going up against. And to tell you the truth, I wasn't really doing backflips when they announced that. I wasn't doing cartwheels. I was just like, okay. In addition to that, another thing that I felt that led to his, the anticlimax of his return, in my opinion, is who else he's feuding with. Because you've got Randy Orton, which we've seen before, and then Alberto Del Rio. And no offense to Del Rio, because he actually is a solid to very good talent. But Alberto Del Rio, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't mean much right now. And Del Rio has been doing promos saying it's obvious that Batista's going to win. Oh, I'm going to call out the animal, blah, 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 blah. And Del Rio isn't this heel that people are dying to see get beat up. Del Rio is a good hand, but he's a mid-level wrestler. Let's just face it, I do like him, but he's not like the top heel in the company. If he was the top heel in the company and he had that momentum, then I can imagine things would be a lot different. And again, I'm not really that excited for that. the next thing that people touched on was, and it's kind of funny what people on the internet pick on sometimes or look at, but a lot of people were expecting the Animal to return, right? The Animal, the big jacked Dave Batista coming out, big fucking traps and everything out. And he comes out and he is dressed in skinny fit jeans. Was it skinny fit jeans? And this white and red sports jacket tight, and his belly button piercing. And I don't have a thing against belly button piercings, believe me, or on women, that's a different story. On men, But he comes out, and it almost looks like heel Batista from that memorable run. And when you realise that he's a face, it's like, damn it. Because I would have loved it if he'd come out dressed like that and did the old heel, give me my spotlight routine, and acted like that prima donna. That I think actually was his best run in the company. And I think so many people wanted to see that Dave Batista. And what happened was we got the babyface Dave Batista. And while he is solid as a babyface, he is far more entertaining as a heel. I love that heel run, by the way. And he comes out, and I think that's what people wanted. They wanted that guy. The other thing they picked on is a lot of guys were saying, well, he didn't look as big as he usually does. He didn't look huge like the monster. He looked in great shape, but not like big Dave Batista like he used to look in his prime. And people were saying, oh, well, he's not on the juice and he's not taking this or whatever it is he's taking. And do you know what? Given my opinions on steroids and things like that, if he's not taking anything, I applaud that, and I think he looks great anyway. He looks better than everybody anyways. He still looks like he's in great shape. And I prefer, I do what's best for himself, and I wouldn't want to see him on the juice or on the gear because of peer pressure and fan pressure to make himself look bigger. But a lot of people cited that as another reason as to why they were not all for it. And in addition to that, again, I don't really want to see a rerun of him and Randy Orton or him and Triple H. Guys that he's kind of done feuds to death with. I want to see him in there with guys that he hasn't fully explored his runs with, and dream matches. And I know so many people would have preferred it if Batista came out and it was Brock Lesnar he was head to head with. And I would rather see that at WrestleMania than Batista and Randy Orton. Why? Because it's a match that's never happened, and you just get the image of the two guys there, and it's huge. And given Dave's, Hollywood crossover work that he's done in films, that could make the match even a little bit more bigger, and I would rather see that. I wouldn't mind seeing him in there with CM Punk, because I felt they always had solid chemistry. I wouldn't mind seeing him in there with a whole other list of guys, as opposed to Randy Orton and John Cena, to tell you the truth as well. But I want to tell you something else that I think is playing a factor to this. A lot of people don't like predictability in wrestling. Therefore, a lot of people don't want Dave Batista to win the Royal Rumble. I would like to see Batista win the Rumble if it meant that Brock Lesnar was champion and we would have that match. But we're not, so I'm not that thrilled about him winning the Rumble. But it looks like he's the guy that they're going to go with. He's the guy they've got the plans for. We're going to get Batista and Randy Orton in the Royal Rumble. I will say this. I think one of the other reasons why fans are not that pumped up for it is because of one other man who hasn't actually factored into anything with Dave Batista in his return. And that one man, obviously, is Daniel Bryan. Because as I was watching Raw, and I listened to the crowd reactions to Bryan and compared them to Batista, I felt that there was significantly more enthusiasm and passion behind Daniel Bryan's crowd reactions than they were to Batista. They cheered for Batista, they were happy to see him, yeah. Daniel Bryan, it was like emotions and reactions. And you look at the last couple of months with him and how our audience have just been getting more and more vocal, more and more passionate, more and more opinionated, strongly opinionated about Daniel Bryan, where it's not just a little internet 25% minority thing, where it's the entire audience now, and you can't fake that. Fans want to see Daniel Bryan, and we saw it at the Slammies when they hijacked the show. We saw it again 2 weeks ago when he turned on Bray Wyatt and he was on the cage, and it was like one of the best Raw moments I've had in a while, with the way the audience were responding to Daniel Bryan. It was like watching, I would almost compare it to Steve Austin in his prime, the way the crowd reacted to him. And it's so obvious that fans want Daniel Bryan, and it's like what the company wants versus what the fans want. And what the company wants is Dave Batista, who I do like, but it's a safety option. And then you have the unknown, that's Daniel Bryan, which in their mind is a risk. but the fans want it. And it's like there's this battle between what the company wants and what the fans want. The fans want Daniel Bryan, the company wants Dave Batista. The company are saying, well, we'll give you Daniel Bryan, but not in the way that you want it, but we're going to give you Dave Batista. And I'll tell you what I think I'll tell you how I think that problem should be solved. This is just my belief. It would have been better had Dave Batista won the belt, turned heel, gave us that heel bully boy Dave Batista, give me my spotlight! That character, which, you know, is hilarious and just so damn fun to watch. He wins it. He's the guy now. Guess what, Randy? You've been replaced. I'm the big man around here. And then Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble. And I think you could have a feud. I mean, they had a little match on Raw that was a lot of fun. But I think that they could actually have a very good program together. And a lot of people are against it because of the size and the dimensions of both wrestlers and how different it is. But isn't that a part of what makes wrestling fun? When you have two guys that don't look like each other, two guys that are polar opposites, and when they come across each other, it's something different and it gets your attention. And with someone like Daniel Bryan, who is the antithesis of a Dave Batista, and you put those two in there, I think it could work. And the fact that, you know, Triple H could put in the promos, now let's see you beat him. Let's see you take him on. And you can play up to it and you can give Daniel Bryan the moment that he needs to have and the moment the fans want to have. And it leads to another interesting debate because the Royal Rumble is coming up in just a few days. And it's like, who really is going to win? Is Dave Batista going to win the Royal Rumble? I think he is the heavy favourite. It's clear that the company wants that. CM Punk, do I think he's going to win? No. Do I think Roman Reigns is going to win? No, but that would be a hell of a statement and I would love to see him get that push. Right now, is there anyone else on the horizon? Daniel Bryan really is the other guy, or Cena's in the title match, so I can't say Cena. Dolph Ziggler is out of the question, and it really comes down to Dave Batista, and if he's in the Royal Rumble, Daniel Bryan. And that's another thing, fans are so vocal. Why is Bryan not in the Rumble? Now, we don't know for certain yet, but it is safe to assume that he might not be because he's already in a match. However, we have seen in previous Royal Rumbles when guys have been in matches, they've been in the Royal Rumble as well. Like Randy Orton in the 2011 Royal Rumble when he fought for the title, didn't win, then he was in the Royal Rumble. I do remember that they did that with him. And I think they did the same with Dolph Ziggler in that year as well. So there is a chance or a possibility that we will see Bryan in the Rumble. Possibly, but you know that the company is so dead set in their ways rather than go and do something else. And it's just very interesting. The fans want Bryan to win the Rumble. Wrong hand. Fans want Bryan to win the Rumble. Yet all the company wants is Dave Batista in there. Hold on a minute. Alright, stop. There we go. Fans want Dave Batista to win, and no, the company wants Batista to win because it's the safety option, and to do the Batista and Bryan feud, Batista and Orton feud, which fans don't want to see and they're resistant against. So now I just leave it up to you and you guys, you lovely people out there on the internet, all the subscribers, Wrestling Guru Mitch, who kind of was the inspiration for the video, Dalax Man, who always does great videos, Stevie Breach, if he's doing a video, I'd love to hear what he has to say. All my subscribers down there, Waffles, if you're watching this, please write and comment and spread the word on wrestling forums and everywhere else. I really want to know what people think. And I did love one person's comment that I can't take him seriously when he's in skinny fit jeans, diamond earrings and a tight t-shirt. He looks like he should be somewhere else, if you know what I mean. Anyways, I'm going to stop. If you haven't already and you want to see more of me, there's this little button called the subscribe button. Hit that button. I'm sure that you'll enjoy more of the content. I do MMA, I do pro wrestling, I do comic books. Sometimes I'll do films if you want me to. I'll do requests, only video requests, I stress. And yeah, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. You get to see more of me, more of my ugly mug. And yes, write some comments. I want to know what people think. I really want to know what people think. Guys, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this lovely mug of tea that still quite cold, and let me know what you think. Okay, there we go. See you soon.